They saw the wars, the blood-soaked canvas, the body pushed past breaking. They called it heart. He called it home. Inside the ropes, he was pain turned into poetry. Each punch a verse, each round a hymn to resilience. He didn't fight for fame. He fought for family. He left pieces of himself in every ring and never asked for any back. Israel Vázquez Castañeda was born on Christmas Day 1977. He didn't just grow up in the working-class borough of Azcapotzalco. He grew up among the dead, spending his childhood in the back rooms of his father's funeral home. The family residence doubled as the office for the parlor, where caskets lined the walls and silence often settled like a curtain. It wasn't unusual for young Israel to help his father, Valentin, carry bodies to the preparation room. Death wasn't frightening. It was simply part of life. Yet even amid the rituals of mourning, Israel's thoughts were fixed on something far more common among Mexican boys: soccer. He idolized Chivas de Guadalajara and dreamed of glory on the pitch. Valentin, always supportive, signed him up for a local youth team, but those dreams ran into a physical hurdle. Israel was born with inward-turning feet, a condition that required braces and limited his agility, so Valentin pivoted. Across the street from the funeral home sat a taekwondo school. At age 8, Israel began martial arts training, not to become a fighter, but to strengthen his legs. It worked. His gait improved, and more importantly, he got his first taste of combat. Later, it was Israel's older brother, Herman, who first got into boxing. Valentin, an avid fan who never missed a big fight on TV, found a trainer, Lupi Serrano, to coach his son. Israel followed Herman to the gym more out of curiosity than ambition. But as rounds turned into routines and routines into rhythm, something clicked. Israel had a feel for the sport, its violence, its beauty, its brutal poetry. By his mid-teens, he started to entertain thoughts of studying law, but the pull of the ring proved stronger. At 17, with little fanfare, Israel Vázquez turned pro. Vázquez launched his pro career with a string of knockouts, flattening 8 of his first 9 opponents. But early momentum came with a sharp lesson. In 1996, against club fighter Ulises Flores, Vázquez suffered his first defeat, a stunning first-round TKO that revealed the sport's ruthless truth. Power alone isn't protection. The setback didn't rattle him for long. Just months later, in April of 1997, he squared off against an undefeated prospect, Oscar Larios. What followed was a thunderclap. One punch, one moment, and Larios was unconscious on the canvas, laid out cold for several minutes. It was a chilling display of raw power that caught the eye of Los Angeles-based manager Frank Espinoza. He introduced himself to the young fighter and made his pitch. Come north, chase the sueño americano, the American dream. At 20, Vasquez took the leap, leaving behind the comfort of his family in Mexico. But Southern California didn't welcome him with open arms. In his U.S. debut, Vasquez faced an opponent with a woeful 2-15 record. Expectations were sky high. A knockout was all but guaranteed. Instead, the crowd sat through a sluggish decision win. The air went out of the room. Top Rank, unimpressed, advised Espinoza to send the kid back to Mexico, but pride ran deep in Vasquez. Instead of retreating, he dug in. He stayed in California, trained harder, and rattled off 4 straight wins. Then came Marcos Licona, a gritty technician who handed him a narrow split decision loss. Another roadblock, another test of will. Once again, Vasquez answered with silence and sweat. He tore through the Southern California fight scene, stacking 12 consecutive victories. A title shot against WBC champion Willie Horin was finally on the horizon. Then, fate intervened. Horin sprained his ankle just 10 days before the bout. The replacement? None other than Oscar Larios, this time with revenge in his eyes. The rematch was grueling. Larios, sharper than the first time around, outboxed Vasquez through 11 taxing rounds before stopping him in the 12th. It was a bitter pill. Vasquez, bruised but unbroken, took stock. I felt bad about the loss, he said, but I knew what I was capable of. That belief would soon be validated. In 2004, Manny Pacquiao vacated the IBF Super Bantamweight title, leaving the division wide open. Vazquez was matched with Venezuela's Jose Luis Valbuena for the vacant crown on March 25, 2004, in a fight that mirrored his gritty path. Vazquez outlasted and outpunched Valbuena, stopping him in the 12th. As the IBF belt was strapped around his waist, the quiet kid from the funeral home stood tall. "It's very emotional," he said. "I don't have the words to describe it." But in that moment, he didn't need words. The belt said it all. The moment Vazquez felt the IBF title buckle around his waist, something in him shifted. Winning a world championship was monumental, but defending it, that was the real crucible. As a champion, Vazquez said, you have to prepare even harder. He backed up those words with action. 2 successful defenses later, he set his sights on a greater prize, revenge. In late 2004, Vazquez voluntarily relinquished his IBF belt to pursue a grudge match against the man who'd beaten him, WBC titleist Oscar Larios, now riding a 9-fight title defense streak. Undaunted, Vazquez came prepared not to just win, but to erase doubt. In what would become one of his most complete performances, he dropped Larios in the opening round and opened a deep gash above his left eye. By round 3, the fight was stopped. Vazquez was the new WBC Super Bantamweight champion, and the trilogy was his, 2-1. "I always dreamed of strapping on a world crown," he said. "To be on big televised cards, to earn big purses. Now those dreams are real." With the win came more attention and expectation. After stopping Ivan Hernandez, Vazquez's warrior credentials were truly forged in a thriller against Johnny Gonzalez, a hard-hitting WBO bantamweight champ moving up in weight. Technically polished and carrying lethal power, Gonzalez pushed Vazquez to the brink.
Himself. He knocked out Oscar Larios. He knocked out Ivan Choco Hernandez. He's on a red-hot streak with a record of 40 wins and 3 losses. And you can see the difference in body styles right away. Gonzalez exceptionally long-armed for this weight class. Vazquez by far the more compact fighter.
At this stage right here, Gonzalez has got Vazquez reaching. Every time that Vazquez is starting to go in, he's kind of losing his balance because Gonzalez is keeping him at a good distance right now.
Gonzalez moving to his left, sticking the jab.
He's making Vazquez stretch.
So far, it's a jabbing contest, and if that's to stay the case, then maybe Gonzalez has the advantage. He's so much longer. Left hook grazes across Vazquez.
Moving around, just doing basic, simple boxing.
Gonzalez's father has trained him up to this point. They brought in Oscar Suarez for this fight the first time, trying to improve Gonzalez's technique.
Well, at this point, he looks great. He's doing everything and keeping the fight at a distance where he can operate, and Vazquez cannot get his rhythm together.
Well, you've worked with Suarez before. What kind of a trainer is he?
Well, Suarez is a good trainer and a very nice man, too. We worked together with Nassim Hamed. He's the Puerto Rican that's infiltrating the Mexican boxing world now.
Interesting. But, hey, that's what's happening to our sport. Increasing globalization, increasing cross-pollination. You already made the point tonight about how you can no longer define a fighter's style by the geographic locale from which he comes. Eastern European fighters are boxer-punchers now. Mexicans box. All sorts of germination in the sport.
That's correct. As a matter of fact, we was at the press conference, Milton McCrory, who hadn't been at a fight in nearly 20 years in Vegas, he couldn't believe all of the Mexicans he saw there. He was surprised to see no big guys.
Yeah, he said, what, these are all little guys, Emmanuel, right?
Yeah, I say, what's good? What's the welterweight?
Vazquez landed a couple of solid punches as the round came down the stretch. He finally closed the distance between himself and Gonzalez.
Just like in the gym, up jab in the right hand in the body.
First round was a boxing round. Johnny Gonzalez's defensive skills and long jab seemed to be preeminent in the first half of the round. Israel Vazquez got inside and fired a couple of big shots toward the end. Gonzalez jabbing just at the moment when Israel Vazquez tried to throw a right hand over the top. Gonzalez can time his jabs that well all night. He'll be in good shape.
Gonzalez is fighting a very good fight right now. keeping and even when he finishes up with his combinations, he gets right back at a distance again.
And even when he misses his punches, he creates range.
Yep, and he's jabbing and hooking, mixing up his left hand just enough to keep Vazquez a little confused.
Just saw him hook off the jab.
Yes.
A dying skill in the sport, but some.
Or the last fight. Just a really good toe-to-toe boxing. Gonzalez, the taller.
Good left hook inside by Gonzalez. The jab keeps Israel Vazquez at range. Gonzalez still getting the best of it well into round 2.
You're right, Larry. This is nowhere near as exciting, but I'm really enjoying this a lot because I'm looking at a guy that's putting on a beautiful display of boxing skills right here.
Well, if you're as tall as Gonzalez and you know how to box and you can take a punch, you're awfully difficult to beat.
Yeah, and he's not only punching pretty good, too. He's fighting a perfect fight.
He lost his first 2 professional fights, by the way.
Gonzalez did allow Vasquez to successfully step inside his jab and fire a couple of inside punches about 30 seconds ago. But most of the time, Vasquez has been out on a tether at the end of a string, kept there by Gonzalez's long punches. Now Vasquez trying to double up on his punches to get something done.
But he couldn't get a rhythm. Once he landed at one jab or so, right where Gonzalez went right back, he never let him get a really good rhythm to going.
Well, let's take a look at these 30 seconds. The preceding round, Israel Vazquez drew blood from the nose of Johnny Gonzalez. I believe it was when he stepped inside and managed to land one left hook. That's the punching power that makes Vasquez so dangerous at every moment.
He's a good puncher, but he's got to be able to get in range. But it's very hard for him to get 2 or 3 punches together. He may land one, and that's about it. But Gonzalez has a good chin himself also, and good experience.
I think his best punch is his uppercut. He's been nowhere near close enough to throw that yet.
After the first fight, the crowd here is sitting back and enjoying what appears to them to be just a sparring session.
Hard right hand by Gonzalez over the top. Vasquez wanted to answer back right away with his own right hand, was just a little short. That's the length of Gonzalez, which so far has been a big factor in the fight. Going away to training camp certainly appears to have benefited Johnny Gonzalez. A very smooth professional performance so far in the first 3 rounds.
Looks very, very good.
Hooking off the jab again. Leads with a left hook. Lands the 1-2 across the top. Vasquez has nothing with which to answer.
Nope.
Finally, a good body shot inside by Vasquez, and that backed Gonzalez right off. And now there is a massive welt outside the right eye of Israel Vazquez. It is beginning to swell. It looks like a blood blister.
That's what it is. It's a blood blister, you know.
Now there's some blood coming.
That's from his nose, and that was there at the end of the last round, too. That happened toward the end of round 2.
But Vasquez has not been able to figure out how to deal with this style tonight.
And the blood blister outside his right eye is like nothing I've seen in a prize fight before, I think.
And that's just what it is, too.
Through round 3, by CompuBox count, Johnny Gonzalez is averaging 97 total punches per round, 74 jabs per round. Vasquez averaging 63 total punches per round. So Gonzalez is averaging 11 more jabs per round and total punches for Vasquez, who is dumped right on the seat of his pants by a left hook.
He's been so frustrated in trying to figure a way to get in that he can't even think and see punches that's coming at him.
Right, and the jabs set up that hook.
Yeah, that's what he's working on. He's working the left hand so much that Vasquez is having problems.
He rocks Gonzalez with a big right hand inside.
Gonzalez tried to come in and see just what Vasquez had left, and he found out.
Absolutely right. Body punches by Gonzalez, but now Vasquez is getting his chances inside.
Yeah, but I think that Gonzalez has got a rhythm, but I don't think he's going to lose still in this fight here.
Well, certainly Gonzalez seems to be handling the distraction of his bloodied nose better than Vasquez is handling the distraction of his damaged right eye.
I don't see that that's distracting him too much. I just think it's the long arms and the style of Gonzalez that's distracting Vazquez.
Right hand by Gonzalez.
Gonzalez is a classy stand-up
machine
boxer puncher.
Yeah,
Great four-punch combination by Gonzalez there, including a vicious left hook to the body. Vasquez with a good body shot. Two fighters raised in Mexico City. Mexico, once a hotbed of intense brawlers who gave no quarter and didn't mind taking punishment to give it. Fighting a skilled boxing match.
Yes.
This is not what you used to see.
No, you would never know these are two Mexicans if they wasn't Mexicans.
Good right hand by Vasquez.
Yeah.
Gonzalez took it very well.
Vasquez is still trying to land that pass shot. He has not lost his determination.
I think he hasn't invested enough in trying to go to the body against a taller opponent.
Box numbers through round 4. Vasquez 57 out of 261. Only a 22% connect percentage. Not good for him. Gonzalez 103 out of 379. The key number there, 379. He's already thrown 118 more punches than Vasquez in only 4 rounds. Pereira won that fight. Gonzalez is winning this one. Good body shot by Vasquez. Good left hook. Good right hand by Gonzalez. Punishing Vasquez for trying to throw his left.
Gonzalez is not just tasting his own blood, it's leaking down so heavily that he's almost sipping it. But it seems not to deter him at all.
No, it's affected his breathing, but it hasn't really affected his fighting. And a nosebleed sometimes is very difficult to stop. You can stop an eye cut better than a nosebleed sometimes.
This may be Vasquez's best round, but whether he wins it or not is another story.
After that Gonzalez combination, it's a challenged story.
Gonzalez's face and body are streaked by his own blood.
Oh, good body shot by Gonzalez. Ripping Vasquez twice to punctuate another good round. Round of the fight. But Gonzalez, 35 out of 97, including 22 of 76 jabs. He has fought virtually every round exactly the same way. We go to the 6th. Because of the knockdown in the 4th round, we have not had a chance yet to bring you Harold explicating his scorecard. That will happen at the beginning of the next round, barring more dramatic action.
Well, I've peeked at Harold's scorecard, and what you see is what you're going to get.
In other words, it's a shutout so far. Pound world title against Johnny Gonzalez, moving up from 118 pounds. A brilliant performance so far for Gonzalez in the burgundy trunks. Earlier, in a really rough fight, Joan Guzman of Dominican Republic beat Jorge Barrios of Argentina by split decision. There's a beautiful left hook and the second knockdown of the fight. And second time that Vasquez has been down.
And I think
7, 8, okay?
that one hurt Vasquez, maybe not physically so much as it was a punctuation on a fight that so far he hasn't been in.
He had just landed a right hand, and Gonzalez had came right back and retaliated right away to make sure that he didn't get his confidence up. And he's fighting with a very complicated, very intriguing fighter who's doing a variety of things tonight.
He's moving up in weight, and he has so far completely dominated Israel Vazquez with a brilliant display of jabbing Boxing skill, left hook, couple of power punches that mean something. Vazquez just hasn't gotten much done. Harold Letterman, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim, 6-0, 60-52, Johnny Gonzalez. You got to give him an extra point in rounds 4 and 6 for the knockdown. Jim, I talk about ring generalship all the time. This is beautiful ring generalship. He keeps it at the end of that jab, perfect distance, works off the jab sets up the left hooks and the straight right hands. 6-0, Gonzalez.
And Gonzalez looks like he really wants to finish this in sensational style. Is that a mistake?
No, I think no. He's landing enough punches. He can gamble. It is a gamble, but I think the way his rhythm is going now, I don't think nothing is going to stop him.
And Vasquez has hit him a couple of solid shots and doesn't seem to have moved him at all.
No, when he hits him, that's what's been so good. He'll come right back to keep Vasquez from getting his confidence up.
No, indeed, Vazquez momentarily knocked Gonzalez off body.
The question here is, Vasquez got the kind of stuff to pull this out? Is he willing to sell out, knowing that he's so far behind he needs a knockout?
I believe he does, myself personally. I don't know if it will happen, but I'm just looking at his facial expression. He's never lost his determination, and he's still punching with full power.
I agree. I think he's going to go out on his shield.
Good right hand there. There it is.
Knocks Gonzalez down with a right hand.
Yep. Yep.
Well, I think we told you he wouldn't quit.
Yep. Great right hand. He never lost his determination. You can see that in his face.
That's why big punches are never out of the fight. That's why Vasquez is never out of a fight.
And Gonzalez may really be hurt here.
He's in trouble.
Because he was just
holding on.
But he's doing what he should do. Clinch. Don't care what the crowd say. Just clinch. Don't trade punches while you're hurt like this.
Well, that got the crowd's attention.
Buying time. Kenny Bayless watching. Gonzalez effectively buys another 5 seconds. Doesn't have his legs back yet. Vasquez still looking for another big shot. Gonzalez starts to throw again.
Now this is becoming what the fans want to see.
Ten seconds left in the round. Vasquez searching and searching. Gonzalez professionally makes it out of the round.
Let him up.
What I think is his best punch. One of the better uppercuts you'll see in the sport. Power in 7. Vasquez 19 out of 36. Gonzalez 18 out of 38.
Most important, Jim, it's revived the spirits
of Vasquez.
Suddenly he came out thinking, I got a chance here.
But I think both guys have a lot of confidence now. I think Gonzalez has recuperated. He's going to try to pick it back up where he left off.
I think the next 5 rounds are going to be fascinating.
Very
if it goes that far. And you're right, Vasquez's energy level is way up again.
No hold.
Gonzalez is still back to his rhythm again. He's trying to take control of the fight.
Good left hook by Vasquez. Gonzalez not nearly as free with his jab now. Misses over the top with the right hand.
But he's taking control of the fight again.
He's starting to let his punches go again. When he lets his hands go, he puts Vasquez on the defensive.
And don't forget, he punches pretty good himself, too.
Obviously. 2 knockdowns already. Good right hand by Gonzalez over the top. He's the one with the reach.
It's interesting. After being knocked down and hurt seriously, he's come back and won the very next round.
Well, I don't think Vasquez is even considering the possibility of winning a decision at this point. If he is, he's out of his mind. So it really isn't important to him to win rounds. It's important to try to find more chances to hurt Gonzalez.
That was good.
Good left hook
and
to
the
the
last
body.
punch was more like cuffed him on the outside. So, you know, I would have to go along with whatever the referee called in that case.
Kenny Bayless ruled it not a knockdown. Power shots through 8. Vasquez 77 out of 186. He's got his connect percentage up to 41% on the power shots. That's much higher than before. Gonzalez 95 out of 209 in power shots, 45%. His average number of jabs per round has dropped to 67, but that's still quite extraordinary, throwing 67 jabs per round. At one point earlier in the fight, he was throwing 80 jabs per round. Gonzalez trying to put the finishing touches on what would be a rousing decision victory, or so it would appear. And Vasquez looking for a knockout, lands a big left hook, and hurts Gonzalez. Not that badly, though. Here comes Johnny coming back. But the blood starts to flow again, liberally from the nose. Got to be a distraction, Emmanuel.
Vasquez is very strong with the punching power. But the thing about it is you have to watch, Gonzalez still punches with pretty good power.
Yeah, and keeps Vasquez on the defensive and now loses his balance. Israel chases him into the ropes and now smiles and laughs about it.
Well, you can see the really physical strength difference is much for Vasquez. Gonzalez is still a gangly type kid. He doesn't have the still best coordination and strength, but still he's just so busy all the time.
Correct.
Vasquez got in a low blow, got warned for it.
Work out. Stop. Go back. Come on, fellas. There we go.
Israel Vázquez was about a half-inch wide to the right with a right hand that could have done some damage.
Well, you can
Look at the power he tries to put on the uppercut. That was the first time all night he really tried to throw that vicious left uppercut that
and he better watch it.
starts
Don't get caught by himself, because still Gonzalez is still punching pretty hard himself.
No.
And Vasquez can get a little too overconfident and get caught himself if you don't watch.
Well, no pain, no gain. He's got to take those chances now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's won this round with big shots, that's for sure. But winning rounds isn't going to help him much now. Trying to get a knockout and hurting Gonzalez. Power shots in 9. Vasquez 21 out of 41, including some solid left hooks. Gonzalez 16 out of 42, including only 9 of 45 jabs. As Gonzalez throws fewer jabs, Vasquez has more chances to get inside and land big stuff. So the fight still hangs in the balance with 3 rounds to go. Harold, how do you have it through 9?
Okay, Jim. 8 rounds. Let's see. We had it 7 rounds to 2. 87-81, Johnny Gonzalez. Jim, the one thing that'd kill this fight is if the judges scored a blood. You know, you get a guy all bloody, and a lot of times the judges see the blood, they start scoring rounds for Vasquez, then he's not winning. I thought Vasquez did win 2 rounds of this fight. He definitely won round 9, and he won the round where he knocked him down, which was round 7.
Vasquez's face is a swollen mass. His nose may be broken up around the bridge. There's a low blow by Gonzalez.
Time.
Timeout. Vasquez has 5 minutes if he wants them.
Yeah, he's not going to take 5 minutes.
No, he's not going to take 5 minutes because he's warmed up and he wants to fight.
One more, and I'm going to start deducting points.
So no point deduction for that low blow.
Time in.
Both fighters have been warned once.
Kenny Bayless doing an excellent job there of warning Gonzalez that was a hard blow below the belt, and only one more would initiate a deduction.
Stop! Let him up.
Good left hook by Vasquez, and he's wobbled Gonzalez again, and there's the second knockdown that Vasquez scores of Gonzalez, and Gonzalez doesn't look good.
No. Physically, just the strength is taking its toll.
They're waving the flag in Johnny's corner.
Why are they
Vasquez
doing that?
has won the fight. They're throwing in the towel in Johnny Gonzalez's corner.
I don't believe this.
Chavez Taylor all over.
Why did his corner, with a minute to go in the round, do they know their fighters so well that they thought he had nothing left?
Blood or legs?
And he was winning that round to me up until the knockdown.
I don't understand why they threw in the towel or called for the end of the fight.
Their brutal seesaw battle showcased everything El Magnifico had become: unrelenting, fearless, and impossible to look away from. The win made TV executives take note. So did fans. Vasquez didn't just fight, he ignited arenas. "I wouldn't change a thing about my past as a boxer," Vasquez said. "To achieve what I wanted, with effort, dedication, and discipline, I had to fight that way." His style was a high-wire act of violence, where offense came at the cost of defense. Every punch he absorbed, he saw as part of the pact he made with the audience. He fought for the fans, manager Frank Espinosa said, not just for money, but to win and give people satisfaction. Outside the ropes, Israel was soft-spoken, almost shy. Inside them, he became something elemental, a firestorm of fists and will. That duality, gentle man, savage fighter, made him a fan favorite. But looming just beyond his title reign was a rivalry that would define his career, captivate the boxing world, and nearly destroy his body. The storm was coming, and Vazquez, true to form, didn't blink. In 2007, Vazquez embarked on an epic series of fights with fellow Mexican star Rafael Marquez, a rivalry that would become one of boxing's all-time great sagas. Marquez, the younger brother of Hall of Famer Juan Manuel Marquez, was moving up in weight after reigning as a bantamweight champion. Like Vazquez, Marquez was known for power, precision, and a willingness to trade leather until one man dropped. The first encounter took place on March 3, 2007, at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. It was a showdown of two champions, Vazquez putting his WBC and Ring Super Bantamweight titles on the line against Marquez, who was the #1 ranked contender. The fight lived up to every bit of the hype.
Here we go, Marquez in the black, Vazquez in the blue. The champion Israel Vazquez, who can change a fight with one punch, said he'll look to get inside and apply pressure. You don't want to get too close to Vazquez. Marquez has dramatically improved his boxing IQ and combines skill with extraordinary power in both hands. A very accurate combination puncher.
In this early going, several things to look for. Marquez wants to just have the slightest of movement to make sure he's not standing right in front of Vazquez. And Vazquez wants to jab his way in when he's going to attack. So we'll see if both men are doing that.
Gonzalez.
These fighters are perfectly matched. It's really interesting. Even in this first round, which hasn't produced wild fireworks, but good solid action, you can see they are both matched very well in terms of their styles, and you know it'll be interesting.
Recently, Vazquez stopped Gonzalez, Ivan Hernandez. Here's Marquez with a left hand upstairs.
They both traded left hooks there, both landed, and that's the punch. I'm telling you, if there's a knockout in this fight, I believe it will come from the left hook of one of these two fighters.
Vazquez missing with a slashing right. Landed with a left hand.
Vazquez is trying very hard to get downstairs with that left to the body.
Blood already from the nose of Israel Vazquez. And there's a hard left hand to the chest area by Marquez. And a double left hook to the body by Marquez.
That was a combination. Before that, a jab and then a left hand by Marquez, the kind that he can land so effectively.
It's finding a home early. Final seconds of round one. Here comes Marquez with a beautiful combination to the head. Now, a left uppercut to the jaw. It backs up Vazquez. So a fight breaks out right away. And Vazquez in some trouble.
A big right hand by Marquez hurt him. It goes to Marquez.
Vazquez's knees actually buckling in that scenario. Round two. But you can never count Vazquez out because of his power. Two guys with questionable defenses, which makes this so exciting. Let's see how Vazquez reacts after being rocked towards the end of that first round. Just missing by Vazquez.
And you know, that's the wild card in this fight. Oh,
big right hand to the jaw by Marquez.
The uppercut's the wild card. Both men have a good uppercut. They have to be careful when they throw it to not leave themselves open.
And Vazquez is finding out that Marquez does indeed have power in both hands.
And remember, in some ways, this fight is going to form. Many people thought Marquez would do better in the early going. The question is, could he win this fight in the early going and not let Vazquez later on come on?
Yeah, once again, you can never count a guy like Vazquez out. Anytime you have a puncher like Vazquez, he's always in. Vazquez digging in with uppercuts on the inside. Nice, strong jab by Marquez.
Now, Vazquez on the inside is throwing that hook to the body. He wants to come with the double left hook, and I think that's part of the way he's setting it up.
Heavy right, straight right by Marquez that landed to the jaw. Vazquez tasting a lot of leather here in the first 2 rounds.
The last round and a half, Rafael Marquez has been as good as he could possibly be.
He seemed kind of tight, but he's not fighting that way.
No, he isn't.
Vazquez seemed the looser of the two, but he is down. Beristain very responsible for transforming Rafael Marquez into an excellent boxer. We already knew he had the power, but now he's able to combine those 2 key elements. Round 3.
We thought this fight would turn on who makes either the first mistakes or the most mistakes. And right now, for Vazquez, part of the reason he's getting hit with those right hands is one of the keys. His jab's a little lazy and his left hand's a little bit low, and Marquez is able to get his right hand in.
And Marquez's punches not only dangerous, but they're slashing type punches, and they often cause or can exacerbate cuts. Just ask Silence Mabuza.
Vazquez was able to get the right hand in, but hasn't been able to uncoil the left hook when he's in there. He needs that punch even more than Marquez.
Marquez with a heavy right. It sent Vazquez back. Oh, did that get Vazquez's attention? Now a left hook to the jaw.
Whoa.
And down goes Marquez. Vazquez knocks Marquez down. A left hook nailed Marquez, and he went sprawling to the canvas. Marquez down for the 3rd time in his career. Round 3 with 1:14 remaining. And sustained, non-stop, 2-way action. Just when it looked like Marquez was having his way, down he went. And he's got a minute to go.
Vazquez is now uncoiling that left hook, and that's what made the difference. He was able to get that punch off.
Both these guys have tasted the canvas before. Both usually come back with renewed vigor. They prosper from adversity. We'll see how it affects Marquez.
Vazquez has not been wild in his attack. He has been cautious. He knows Marquez is dangerous. He doesn't want to let the moment pass.
A lot of folks wouldn't be surprised now if Vazquez went down. 20 seconds left in the 3rd round. It is as advertised. Most of the fans here at the Home Depot Center standing.
10 segundos para la campana, 10 segundos. Tira golpes, ahí salte.
As we head for the bell in a breakthrough round for Israel Vazquez from Nacho Beristain, who said, all right, nothing happened. He was trying to just calm Rafael Marquez down as we enter into round 4 after a very dramatic 3rd round.
The interesting thing is, if you had asked people to take a bet who would go down in the first 5 rounds, they would have probably suggested Vazquez, and Vazquez was hurt in this earlier in this fight.
Late in the 1st round. Oh, these are tough, hard inside body shots by Marquez. It's got Vazquez grimacing.
Now, I thought that the Vazquez left hook was an important weapon in this fight. I thought Marquez's left hook might be his major weapon, but now it appears if he hooks with Vazquez, Marquez is in a little bit more danger than he needs to be, Steve. So I think Nacho Beristain rightfully wants the right hand for Marquez more.
Vazquez trying to weaken Marquez with blistering shots to the temple.
Vazquez came very close with another one of those left hooks.
He's probably scored more clean and hard shots throughout the fight, although he's the one that tasted the canvas. Here's Vazquez. Again, tasting leather.
Marquez
great jab set up the right.
Wow, nice combinations. And again, the right hand, the big weapon for Marquez there.
Good rallying by Marquez after a tough 3rd round in which he went down. Marquez showing a lot of poise, able to regroup well.
Deep breath. Okay. Israel, when you on the inside with this man, you better get off your combinations. Don't let him get off first. Okay? All right? On the inside, you're going to let your hands go, okay? All right. Let's go, Israel. When you're on the inside, you're letting him get off first. I want you to get off first, okay? Okay.
Our translator, Felix De Jesus. Israel Vazquez understands English, but he responds in Spanish. Rafael Marquez does not speak English.
Neither of these fighters have ever lost a title match. 6-0 for Vazquez, 8-0 for Marquez. Even if there's a draw, that record will change tonight.
Oh, nice left-right combination by Israel Vazquez. Back comes Rafael Marquez with a combination of his own. Oh, a big right hand up. The combination by Marquez. Tremendous give and take.
Nacho Beristain rightfully wanting Marquez to use the jab a lot. That will set up the right hand. And Freddie Roach correct. Vazquez cannot let Marquez get off first all the time in this fight.
A lot of people comparing this early on to Castillo Corrales 1, and it's starting to take on that special feeling.
I think the trick for Vazquez in this fight is to get in position inside where he can again keep throwing those hooks. That's his ticket in this fight. He won't outbox Marquez from the outside, just as he couldn't do that against Johnny Gonzalez.
A warning to Israel Vazquez from referee Ryan Cayes Jr. hitting behind the head. Vazquez pushing Marquez back.
Now that was a good right hand from Vazquez. That's not his primary weapon in this fight, but he has a good right hand.
Right uppercut, right on the chin by Rafael Marquez. They continue to trade vicious punches.
Wow, there's the body work by Vazquez. He's been a little more committed to it in this fight than Marquez has. Oh, good work on the inside.
Right hand to the side of the head by Vazquez. Explosive, dynamic action. A straight left hand on the neck jaw area by Vazquez. Marquez issues a flurry. Sets up the right with the left jab, but the right missed. Back comes Vazquez with a left hook off the top of Marquez's head.
We're going to see another big left hook land by Vazquez. I don't know when it's going to come, but it's going to come in the next couple of rounds.
Right hand by Marquez with authority. What conviction behind that punch.
Great combinations by Marquez.
Vazquez is hurt. Marquez going in for the finish. He wants to close the show. Vazquez, all of a sudden, in a lull, he stopped for a moment for some reason. And Marquez is trying to take advantage as the bell sounds.
I think he was faking it. I think he was trying to lure him in. I don't know. That's an interesting situation.
Check out his nose.
He may have gotten thumbed.
Nose okay.
Okay. Just making sure that.
I think he was claiming he got thumbed, Al.
Rafael Marquez, early on in the round, precision combination punching, very effective from the outside. And then Vazquez was able to come back, throwing that good straight right hand, a lead right that got by the defense of Marquez. But the volume of punches, clearly Marquez. Now here's where maybe the thumb or something happened. Yeah, apparently there was something that made him not be able to see it. And you see Vazquez realize, you know, I've got to fight back or I will get nailed here. And so he did. So yeah, it was something that happened with his eye.
And Vazquez comes running out of his corner to start round 6.
Now, that left eye could close a little bit. Whatever happened there, this might have some impact on the vision of Vazquez. Now, there's a double left hook by Vazquez. He better get to throwing that weapon in this fight before things get away from him.
Temporarily stop, and then Marquez jumped on the situation. The Vazquez realized, I got to fight back. He just nailed Marquez on the head. Marquez turns him around.
Now, you know, in every Rafael Marquez fight, or most of them, against Silence Mabuza and several others, Marquez has had little lull periods, Steve, in the somewhere between the 3rd and 7th round. And that's what Vazquez was counting on. Now, we haven't seen it yet. In fact, he was able to get to Marquez early, but in these rounds, Marquez has retained sharpness.
And I think it's more mental than physical, because he's in tip-top condition as he trains in the high altitude of the Mexican mountains.
On the inside, Vazquez can do better than Marquez for the most part, and he's committed more to the body work.
And they continue to gun away from close range. There's that jab by Marquez, continues to be effective.
Rafael Marquez very accurate with his combinations. Tough round to score.
Both with a very high work rate throughout. Although Vazquez denied it, he may have had his nose broken in the Johnny Gonzalez fight, and his nose looks a mess here now, particularly after that alleged thumbing.
Freddie Roach made a point to ask Vazquez for a lot of body work. They think maybe that body work will help him as this fight wears on, and it probably will.
Oh, big left hook by Vazquez. Oh man, that just took the starch out of Rafael Marquez. Huge shot, a bomb.
Boy, and yet Marquez able to sustain through that. That looked like a monster shot, but Marquez still in there battling. Combination from the outside clearly better for Rafael Marquez, and that's why he's ahead on the scoring of the press row people in my scoring.
Oh, Vazquez coming on, big left hand there. Back comes Marquez.
This is great. I mean, both these fighters doing little things, subtle things, throwing punches with power. It's just an excellent boxing match.
Left hook blocked by Vazquez.
And it's okay to block one. It really is.
I'd say so. Almost no let up in the action.
And you know, in round 6 and 7, Vazquez has really been committed to the body work. We'll see if that will slow Marquez down at all as this fight wears on.
These two guys have to be in incredible condition to withstand this kind of punishment and to issue these kinds of punches over and over again. Marquez with the left uppercut. Now the left was blocked by Vazquez. Vazquez with a left-right combination coming on. Vazquez turns it up. Back comes Marquez.
Oh, wow.
And they trade, going toe-to-toe in the center of the ring.
Coming back with a couple shots.
What's happening? It's over. Israel Vazquez has quit.
Wow.
I don't believe it. Rafael Marquez is the winner. Out of nowhere, Israel Vazquez decides not to go on, and you have to go back to perhaps the issue of the nose. Maybe he just can't breathe.
I mean, we see the blood coming from it. We're not going to speculate. We'll get information as we go on that, but certainly it's conceivable that's the reason.
Out of nowhere, Al, Vazquez just strolled over to the Marquez corner and waved it off. Ray, Jim.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Israel, first let's start with you. If you can speak to us in English, please try. Why did you stop? Why did you quit the fight?
Bueno, pues no podía respirar. Era inútil seguir la pelea porque estaba recibiendo golpes que no debía haber recibido y era lo que me impedía seguir la pelea.
Felix de Jesus will interpret.
He said he couldn't breathe, so there was no sense in keeping with the fight because he just couldn't breathe. Through the nose, he couldn't breathe.
Was your nose broken in that 5th round when you abruptly turned away and went to the ropes?
No, fue antes de como el segundo o tercer round. Ya tenía la nariz un poco lastimada. Incluso dejé a mi esquina que pararan la pelea, pero me forzaron a seguir 2 rounds más y me vi muy bien. Estaba a punto de poderlo noquear, pero desafortunadamente no pude continuar más.
Yeah, he was at the point where you almost knocked him out, but since the 2nd round, he was having problems with his nose.
Did you realize, Freddie Roach, as his trainer, that his nose was broken in the 2nd or 3rd round?
Yes, I did. And then 2 rounds before I stopped the fight, he complained, told me he couldn't breathe. I asked him to suck it up and go on. And then that last round, he told me I can't breathe, and I had to stop the fight for his health because it's hard to fight this tough guy when my guy can't even breathe.
Did you believe you were winning the fight at the time that you stopped?
Sí, sí, estuvo muy bien parada.
I understood that, yes.
Okay, sí, que he said that the fight was stopped at the right time.
Would you like a rematch?
Cuando antes posible, yo pienso que estuvo muy bien, solo fue la dificultad de respirar.
He wants a rematch as quickly as possible. The only thing was that he had problems with breathing today.
Israel, thank you. Tremendous performance tonight.
Thank you very much.
Vazquez had made a decision out of character. He retired on his stool. In the 7th round, I had to decide whether to keep fighting or save my nose, Vazquez said. I decided to save my nose. Critics questioned his toughness, but those who'd seen the x-rays knew better. Even so, the loss gnawed at Vazquez. He considered retirement, ashamed not of the defeat, but of the optics. Then, an unlikely spark reignited his fire. His young son, Israel Jr. Why didn't you keep fighting, the boy asked. You could have come back and beaten him. That innocent challenge lit a fire. Vazquez underwent surgery to repair his nose and rededicated himself to the sport. He also made a critical corner change, swapping out Freddie Roach, then spread thin with Manny Pacquiao, for Rudy Perez, the seasoned strategist behind Marco Antonio Barrera. Only 5 months after the first fight, Vazquez-Marquez II took place in Hidalgo, Texas. What ensued was a 6-round blaze of violence and heart.
Epitomize what is good about boxing, highly skilled in the ring, total gentleman outside the ring. And here we go, Rafael Marquez in the white with the black trim, power, polish, speed, accuracy, the heavy right, the stinging jab, and the sharp combinations. Vazquez in the red with the white trim, ferocious left hook, inside pressure, makes every minute count, and he is desperate for victory. So is this in effect round 8? Vazquez felt going in that Marquez, Al, who had a great first round in the original, would come right at him and make it a physical fight.
We've already seen in the first 30 seconds of this round, Marquez landed a nice right hand, Vazquez landed a nice left hook. They're back at it again. It's working better early because it's helping him work his way right inside.
There's a straight right hand to the nose by Marquez, and Vazquez sending Marquez back with a shot. There's a good left uppercut on the inside by Vazquez.
There's good news and bad news for both fighters. Vazquez is landing his left hook very, very well early. Marquez is landing the right hand very early.
Many feel Marquez will eventually catch Vazquez and end it dramatically. Marquez did predict a knockout, but did not specify the round. Right uppercut on the inside there by Marquez. A flurry by Vazquez. Back comes Marquez. Again, back and forth, two-way, non-stop sustained action. What else is new?
Great skill on the inside. There's a combination of a hook and uppercut by Marquez. Marquez's uppercut was a factor in the first fight and could be again, and there it is again for Marquez. This is
the right temple area of Vazquez swollen and red already here in the first round. Marquez working the jab. It was a very effective weapon to set up the big right in the first fight.
Both men want to keep their hands up more. They feel like they lowered their hands, and it was a problem in the last fight. There was a couple good punches by Marquez, but again, Vazquez had his hands up, so he kind of blocked, though. Oh, good body work.
Body shots by Marquez. And a left hook there upstairs by Marquez to finish the round.
Don't commit some errors here. Give me the headpiece. For the eyebrows. For the eyebrows. You gotta come inside on him. You understand? You are hurting him. You are hurting him. But you are hurting him.
Translator Felix de Jesus, Nacho Baristay, one of the most respected and experienced trainers in the sport. In the corner of Marquez, Rudy Perez, who, as we said, replaced Freddie Roach at a critical time heading into the rematch. The longtime trainer of Marco Antonio Barrera, now in there with Vasquez.
You know, Marquez told us before this fight he would throw more punches than he did in the last fight. He is very, very active. They both are.
So round 2 scheduled for 12 for the WBC 122-pound championship. Off to a rousing start already with some exciting exchanges.
There are so many good punches being thrown in this fight that trying to keep track of them is tricky for the judges as well as us.
Of course, it was the left hook that dropped Marquez in round 3 of the first fight after Vasquez was hurt by a straight right by Marquez. And it was a left hook by Marquez that started the damage on Vasquez's nose near the end of the first round. There's the left hook by Marquez on cue.
You know, Marquez is throwing a lot of those left hooks. Puts him in a little danger of getting countered by Vasquez with the left hook. And it's tempting because he can throw the hook, Marquez.
Beautiful left hook there by Vasquez.
Yeah. Best punch of the fight for him so far.
That got Marquez's attention.
Followed by 3 straight jabs by Marquez.
Remember that one resounding punch towards the end of the first fight by Vasquez and Marquez was unfazed. There's another left hook upstairs by Vasquez just before the bell. A couple of good left hooks by the challenger. Instructions from Nacho Baristay and Rudy Perez with a final word for Vasquez. There's a small cut on the bridge of Vasquez's nose.
The plot thickens.
Indeed. Round 3. The infighting. Dead center of the ring.
If ever two fighters were made for each other, these two are. They are in front of each other, throwing excellent punches. Both men have a smidge of a problem defensively, and so that leaves the chance that they can be hit.
Makes it more exciting for the fans, of course, but what a... he's wobbled. Marquez is wobbled.
Same kind of left hook that hurt him in the first fight.
Let's see if Vasquez jumps all over Marquez now. He has Marquez in some trouble, but look at Marquez fighting back. Unbelievable.
And Marquez showed great poise when he was knocked down the first time, but he was more hurt this time.
Yes, he was. He came back with a good 4th round in that first fight after being knocked down to the 3rd, but he really got jolted here.
Same round, too.
Exactly. He has slowed down considerably now, Marquez. Now Marquez comes back with a left hook. And a straight right and a left hook by Vasquez. Back comes a right hand by Marquez. Marquez pressed up against the ropes, not where he wants to be. A left hook to the temple by Vasquez. Marquez misses with a left hook.
Can you say Corrales-Castillo? This is an amazing round of boxing.
Great
big uppercut.
Uppercut by Vasquez. It sends Marquez back to the ropes. Marquez, though, swings away anyway. And he comes forward now. And there's a terrible cut around the right eye of Vasquez now. His face is bloodied on the right side. Israel Vazquez.
Marquez has gotten himself back into this round in a major way. Amazing.
And now Vasquez with some drama. He's got problems with the cuts. And 45 seconds left in the 3rd round. And Marquez landing with rights and lefts, sending Vasquez back. Another series of punches, a great combination by Marquez. And this is after Marquez was in trouble. Marquez wailing away at the head of Vasquez. As the blood continues to flow from the eyes of Vasquez. Marquez winging, landing. Left hook upstairs, landing by Marquez. Everything's connecting, but look who's coming forward. It's Vasquez. Now Marquez comes forward. Back comes Vasquez with a left and a right. Non-stop. Incredible action. Unbelievable. A right hand attack Marquez. No let-up whatsoever.
Water. Here's some water. Here's some water.
And you see blood underneath the right eye of Marquez. There's blood around both eyes of Vasquez. Furious action in round number 3 as we enter round 4. Joe Chavez, the veteran cut man, with his work cut out in the Vasquez corner. Vasquez marching forward, throwing in volume. What a work rate by both guys. Now Vasquez digging to the body. Back comes Marquez to the midsection.
And it was ruled apparently that the punch is what created the cut around Vasquez's eye. No ruling of a clash of heads.
Now there's swelling underneath the right eye of Marquez, and that could become a factor. Beautiful right uppercut on the inside by Vasquez on the chin.
The legs of Marquez not steady right now. Oh, what a body shot by Marquez. That hurt Vasquez. That was a great left hook to the body.
He's got Vasquez backpedaling momentarily, then a left uppercut on the inside of the chin by Vasquez.
They knew coming in they could not get hit with that left hook of Vasquez, and boy, Vasquez has found a way to land it against Marquez. It's been a big weapon. And I'll tell you one mistake Marquez is making after he lands that big right. Marquez is throwing too many left hooks of his own. He's leaving himself open because of that punch for Vasquez to land his own hook.
Both faces bloody as they trade in the center of the ring. Big right hand there by Marquez. So he's going back to his money punch.
Yep.
Boy, this is like one of those old-time fights.
Amazing. I mean, both men said they thought this would be better than the first one. It is. Great body work by Marquez. And there's the jab making itself known again.
One throws and the other throws. Then the other one comes back. Marquez pushing Vasquez back with a left-right combination.
You know, before the first fight, Israel Vazquez says, I'm the real super bantamweight. I've been at this weight. I'm stronger. In some ways, he's demonstrating that here tonight.
Marquez, that's right. You got to remember, he was coming up from 118 in the last fight. But you wouldn't know it.
Very close round here. Both men have gotten so much work done.
Oh, what a right hand by Marquez up top. Vasquez coming back. Back comes Marquez.
Phenomenal.
The blood standpoint. Look at the face of the champion, Rafael Marquez. Israel Vazquez actually now looks the better of the two. Ripping, stirring action for 4 rounds as we enter the 5th, scheduled for 12 for the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship. Marquez in the white with the black trim, Vasquez in the red with the white trim. Marquez, the champion, 37-3, 33 knockouts. Vasquez, the challenger, 41-4, 31 knockouts in a scintillating rematch. Ballyhoo rivalries as you take a look at the press row. Jason Gonzalez, Mark may have Marquez ahead, and Jason McDaniel has it even.
I've got it a draw at 38-38.
Midway through the 5th round, the pace has slowed just a tad.
Marquez is keeping his, now that cut, by the way, a big issue, and it was not caused by a clash of heads, they ruled. So that's going to be an issue for Vasquez. It's bleeding more heavily now.
It's around the right eye. It's getting into the right eye more than the cut around the left eye, and you can see he senses the urgency, so he's boring in on Marquez. But every time he does, he gets nailed.
You know, Marquez's jab has not been quite as effective in the last couple of rounds. It would be a punch that could open up.
Oh, down goes Vasquez, but it's being ruled a slip. As the blood continues to streak down Vasquez's right side, he comes roaring back. They trade toe-to-toe in the center of the ring. Vasquez pushing Marquez back.
Psychologically, Vasquez caught Marquez at a vulnerable moment. Marquez thought it was a knockdown and thought the guy might be hurt. Vasquez came right after.
Yeah, he sensed that maybe Marquez let down momentarily and tried to take advantage of the situation. He has slowed Marquez in his tracks here.
What a close round here, though, in round 5.
Good right hand off the top of the head of Marquez.
Marquez's right hand is so low, the hook will land again by Vasquez. Wow. Was this a knockdown or was it not? Now both eyes, by the way, cut for Vasquez.
Let me get the inswell.
Let's take a look and see if we think this could have been a knockdown. Very hard to tell when it happened in, no, it was a slip, definitely slipped. Their legs got tangled. The referee made an absolutely correct call. And in a close fight like this, that could be a factor. We'll see again from an overhead. No, the right hand missed. They got their feet tangled. So great call by referee Guadalupe Garcia.
Here we go into round 6. That was a correct call by Guadalupe Garcia, the third man in the ring. Vazquez, despite the fact that it was called a slip, still looking a little bit on the dazed side. Oh, down goes Marquez! A left hook by Israel Vazquez sends Marquez sprawling to the canvas. Second time he's put down by Vazquez in this series.
And it's early in this round, which is a key point. Lots of time for Vazquez to get something done.
Remember, Marquez came back the last time he was knocked down in the third round of the first fight. Will it happen again? Vazquez looking to close the show. He's going in for the finish. Canvassing Marquez. Marquez almost working on instinct. Oh, a right uppercut on the inside of Vazquez. A left hook by Vazquez. Marquez holding on up against the ropes. Vazquez all over Marquez. Can he end it here in the 6th round? Relentless attack by Israel Vazquez. He's got Marquez pressed up against the ropes just above us. Back goes Marquez. Garcia steps in. The fight is over. Revenge. Redemption for Israel Vazquez. Unbelievable finish.
Israel, congratulations to you. Muy bueno.
Gracias. Thank you very much. And all for people for support to me.
Were you concerned that your eyes were going to cause a stoppage of the fight, much like your nose did in the first fight?
¿Tú pensaste que los ojos te iban a producir que iban a parar la pelea?
Pues en sí no podía mirar, pero nunca desistí en seguir la pelea. Y ahí tienen el resultado. Gané a muy buena ley.
I won, and yes, I did. I was very concerned with my eyes, so I did win the fight.
At what point did you sense that you had to end this fight because of the shape of your eyes?
¿Cuándo tú pensaste que tenía que terminar esta pelea debido a los ojos, de la condición de los ojos?
No, pues cada round salía a apretar. Lógicamente Rafa venía muy bien preparado y lo demostró, hizo muy buena oposición y por eso no pudimos terminar la pelea antes.
I came prepared every round, and we couldn't finish it earlier because he was a great fighter, but I was looking for it as soon as I knew I was hurt.
Did you believe that the referee stopped the fight too soon, or did you believe that Marquez was in trouble?
¿Tú pensaste que Marquez estaba en problemas o que el referee paró la pelea muy temprano?
Sí, yo pienso que estaba en problemas. Si él no lo reconoce, es porque realmente estaba lastimado. Era cuestión de tiempo. Si no era cerrado, no era el siguiente.
He says it was just a matter of time. If it wasn't this round, it would have been the next round. He knew that he was in trouble.
We've had 2 great fights. Will there be a third in English?
Yes.
Por favor.
I want the third fight.
You want a third fight? Okay. Congratulations to you.
The bout was immediately hailed as a classic, later earning recognition as the Ring Magazine Fight of the Year for 2007. The third round alone, a frenzied all-action 3 minutes, was later crowned Round of the Year. When it ended, Vazquez had his redemption, but more than that, he had silenced the doubters. The second fight was something personal for me, Vazquez said. After the first fight, some people thought I quit and made excuses about my nose. I took it personally. I wanted to send a message, not only to Rafael, but also to the non-believers. And I think I did that. By the time Vazquez and Marquez met for the third time, boxing fans no longer needed a sales pitch. Each man had carved a win into the other's flesh, and the world demanded a tiebreaker. On March 1st, 2008, under the familiar lights of Carson's Home Depot Center, they delivered not just a rubber match, but something more primal than sport. For 12 savage rounds, Vazquez and Marquez waged war in close quarters. It was Marquez who struck first, dropping Vazquez in the fourth with a thudding right hand that briefly tilted the balance, But Vasquez, true to form, rose and fought with the fury of a man unwilling to let pain dictate terms. He clawed his way back into the fight, turning momentum with sheer will. As the bout edged into its final round, the scorecards were too close to call. In the final round, Vasquez summoned one last reserve of fury, unleashing a relentless barrage that drove Marquez backward, his legs betraying him as he slumped into the corner ropes in the closing seconds, a champion pushed to the edge by another unwilling to yield. Vasquez's closing surge, that final gasp of violence, made all the difference. When the bell rang and the dust settled, Vasquez had won by split decision. But there were no losers, only men changed forever. Once again, the boxing world took notice. The bout earned 2008's Fight of the Year honors, and the ferocious fourth round was named Round of the Year. Even Nacho Beristain, Marquez's stoic and cerebral trainer, stood in awe. Rafael hit him with everything, Beristain said. Huge shots, and he didn't go down. Israel is macho, but the glory came at a steep, perhaps unforgivable cost. Vasquez emerged victorious, but not unscarred. The right eye that had absorbed so much punishment now betrayed him. His vision blurred. His retina had detached. Doctors warned him of the unthinkable. Keep fighting and risk permanent blindness. By December of 2008, Vasquez, still healing from eye surgery, had yet to return to the ring. The WBC stripped him of his title, a cold act that felt irrelevant given the toll he had already paid. Marquez fared no better. He underwent 3 surgeries to repair a shattered orbital bone and would sit out over a year. The rivalry had given fans 3 masterpieces and left 2 of boxing's proudest warriors deeply wounded. Vazquez-Marquez 3 was the crescendo of a trilogy unlike any other. It wasn't just a fight. It was sacrifice, theater, and violence distilled into its purest form. And for Vasquez, it should have been the end. For a time, it looked like the Vazquez-Marquez trilogy would be the closing chapter of Israel Vazquez's career, a heroic, if heartbreaking, finale. Vasquez underwent multiple surgeries on his damaged right eye throughout 2008 and 2009, trying desperately to preserve his vision. After 3 operations, doctors finally cleared him to resume training in mid-2009. Despite having already secured his legacy, Vasquez wasn't ready to hang up the gloves. Part of it was pride, the unquenchable thirst only fighters understand. But another part of it, as those close to him quietly acknowledged, was financial. The Marquez trilogy had brought him fame and a measure of fortune, enough to buy his family a home, but boxing riches are rarely built to last. Now in his early 30s, Vasquez was chasing one more payday. So, against the wishes of fans, trainers, and even his longtime manager Frank Espinoza, the rivals signed on for one more round. On May 22, 2010, under the bright lights of the Staples Center in Los Angeles, Vazquez-Marquez 4 took place. Many questioned the necessity of a 4th installment. Vasquez had already claimed the trilogy. More troubling, his eye remained a looming danger. Espinoza, ever the protector, voiced his reservations. "I did not want them to fight a 4th time because he had already won the trilogy," Espinoza said. "But Israel asked me. At that moment, he was having economic problems and needed money. We knew we shouldn't do it, but he needed to support his family."
Rafael Marquez. No secrets between us. It's going to be a great one once again. Guaranteed. Vasquez. Already in boxing lore. Where to go from here? Round 1. Big right hand already by Vasquez.
Marquez has started faster in every one of the fights than Vasquez. Will that hold true tonight?
Well, I was surprised that no one showed up with a belt in it. The last minute, the WBC.
The silver belt, right?
Spoken like a fighter. The Vasquez jab, he's trying to get that jab off early, Vasquez. That would be so important for him.
Vasquez told us that he'll know what to do after the first round. He'll know what kind of adjustments to make. No real strategy going into this fight. But according to some of the experts, you guys in particular, Marquez is the more skillful fighter, maybe the faster fighter, but Vasquez is bigger, maybe a little stronger.
Well, and with the right hand of Marquez coming so fast, of course, it could. And the caveat to all this is Israel Vazquez in every one of these fights has fought through those cuts and kept going. So that's a key factor as well.
It's almost as if, like Marvin Hagler, when he sees his blood, he gets better.
Vazquez is really trying to establish his own jab in this round. That's important. Marquez's has been better, but Vazquez has tried.
End of the first round. Scheduled for 12. Vazquez-Marquez 4. Nice left hook by Vazquez. Already he's cut over that left eye after one round.
Gus, that cut never healed properly, and I'm sure he probably needed more time before he stepped in there with a fighter like Marquez. I don't know if it happened with a butt or a punch. We have to look and see what the judge ruled. I mean, what the referee ruled at the time.
Well, nothing that indicated it was from a clash of heads, although there was a couple during the course of that first round, but we'll make sure we get the ruling, but to the best of our knowledge at this juncture, we don't believe it was ruled that way. Now, Marquez fighting more on the inside right now. So if he continues to do that, he'll give Vazquez at least a chance to land one of those hooks.
Nice right hand by Marquez. Sharp with his punches. Jabs to the body, then up top. Doubles up that jab. He's opening up that eye. Oh, a beautiful left hook again by Marquez as he steps off the line on a pivot.
Marquez said that he was definitely looking for a knockout tonight. I mean, with that cut opening, I think that he may be a little bit closer to something like that.
Yeah, and the danger, of course, is to engage too much with Vazquez, because he can open up that cut just as well from outside with the jab and a straight right hand without having to go after him. But he's landing some big shots, Marquez, for right now, but that changes with Vazquez.
You know, Vazquez is the bigger puncher, meaning that he can change this fight, the tone of this fight, with one solid punch. And Marquez is aware of that.
And the left hook has been so good for Vazquez in this series. Marquez telling us that he wants to beat the man that, quite honestly, has hurt him, has sent him to the canvas, has just had his number, and this is his opportunity.
A lot of activity, a lot of combination punching, but here comes Vazquez.
That eye really opening up now. Vazquez, deep gash, blood pouring right into his eye.
But Vazquez is making this a little more his fight, even though Marquez is doing so well.
Marquez always in this trilogy, a quick starter. Vazquez usually rallying in the end. Good body shots by Marquez, and they exchange words at the end of the round.
Okay, we're just putting here so you can see a little bit.
1 second. Okay. If you get it started, let it go a little longer. I think we're all right. Okay. Yeah.
The cut rather came from a punch and not a headbutt.
Oh, that's a significant call in this fight because that cut was so bad. I mean,
stylistically, now they clashed heads at the end of the round, and there's a little cut on the forehead of Marquez. That was what he was mad about. Marquez, though, is doing something really wrong. He's mad now, and he is standing in front of Vazquez, squaring himself up.
And that's giving Vazquez every opportunity.
That's what happened in fight 2.
With that big counter punch. Why would you do that when you're controlling this fight from the outside?
Every time he's done that in this series, Vazquez comes back. But look at Marquez. Man, can this guy throw combinations.
He's looking sharp tonight, Al. He really is looking sharp tonight.
And as Marquez told us, he wants to knock him out another headbutt.
Headbutt, right eye, box.
And now he's cut on the right eye. Wow. How long can he go with these severe cuts over his eyes? Nice body work. Oh, beautiful looping right hand by Marquez. That slows Vazquez down.
That hurt him.
And it dropped him. And he can't see. Why do you stay in there?
country. I mean, this is what real fighters do.
Here he comes. He might not have much time. Third round, scheduled for 12. Left hook to the body, another right hand. Vasquez in trouble. Oh, they stop it. Just like that. Rafael Marquez. Short night, and we're all tied up 2-2. Rafael Marquez came out with the fury. He said he wanted to knock Vasquez out, and that's exactly what he did.
It was a combination as these two men share the respect that they have for each other and they've shown leading up to this. It was a matter of the cuts being a big issue and Rafael Marquez's normal quick start being enough because of the cuts.
Yes,
Stay here with us for just a moment. Let's now bring in Israel. Israel, come on in. First of all, how is your eye, and are you okay?
¿Cómo están tus ojos y está bien?
Muy bien, gracias a Dios. Desafortunadamente la sangre era demasiada que me estorbaba para mirar y bueno, pues trataba de cuidarme, no pasara lo mismo en el otro ojo.
He said that he's okay, he can see and everything, but he was just trying to take care of those eyes tonight.
How concerned were you coming into the fight? We spoke with you yesterday and we've seen your training. How concerned were you that this eye was going to open up very early in the fight?
¿Cuáles eran las preocupaciones tuyas de que el ojo se iba a abrir otra vez?
No, realmente no subí con esa intención. Me dio un buen golpe, me conectó pronto y desafortunadamente pues trataba de cuidar más mi integridad que lo que pudiera generar. Pero bueno, sin querer está lista la quinta pelea.
Yeah, I was not thinking about that when I stepped into the ring to fight, that the eyes were going to open, but he hit me with a good shot and it opened up.
How concerned, check that, once the eye did open up, did it affect your fighting?
Cuando el ojo abrió, ¿comenzó a afectarte en la pelea?
No, realmente nunca me di cuenta hasta un rato después que me empezó a sangrar demasiado.
He didn't know until he started seeing the blood, then he knew that it was open.
Do you want a fifth fight? And if you do, could you fight?
¿Tú quieres una quinta pelea y si se da, tú puedes pelear?
Claro que sí, yo creo que la Comisión Atlética de de California fue muy estricta al quererme dar la licencia. Pasé sin ningún problema el examen y por qué no volverla a pasar.
He passed the license for the California state and he's willing to do it if another fifth fight comes about.
How long would it take you for you to get your eye and your face back in proper order so that you could withstand going back into the ring with Rafael?
¿Cuánto tiempo te va a coger para arreglarte otra vez la cara para pelear con Rafael?
Bueno, pues no sé, solamente necesito ver al doctor. Ya habíamos platicado anteriormente de una cirugía para evitar precisamente los cortes y calculo que unos 5 o 6 meses estaría listo para volver a pelear.
He thinks about 5 or 6 months, but the doctor definitely has to determine that, and maybe even surgery to help the cuts don't come about.
Final question. It's 2-2 now. What has this rivalry and this matchup with Marquez meant to you?
¿Qué ha significado la rivalidad para ti 2-2 ahora contra Rafael?
Bueno, yo quisiera haber puesto la marcador 3-1, pero sin embargo me siento orgulloso de haber protagonizado, espero que para toda la gente, 3 grandes rounds y bueno, pues eso está precisamente para grandes cosas, ¿no? Yo creo que Rafael fue un peleador muy bueno esta noche y lo felicito.
I would have liked to see the 3-1 in fights, but it happened this way and I hope the fans did get to see at least 3 good rounds.
Final question, Rafael. If this was the final fight, how would you like for this to be remembered between the two of you?
Si esta fue la última pelea, ¿cómo tú quieres que se recuerden esta rivalidad que tienen ustedes?
Yo creo que lo va a correr toda la gente. Creo que la gente está súper de acuerdo con estas 4 peleas que hicimos y realmente Israel Vázquez, como le he dicho, es un gran ser humano y creo que un gran peleador y lo ha demostrado arriba del ring y creo que si no yo le ganaba esta, creo que él era el único campeón que realmente iba a ganar todas las que vengan.
Yeah, he says that Israel is a great fighter and most of all a great human being and that he won this fight, but they're always fighting, these close fights.
His career is over, Vasquez's manager Frank Espinoza said immediately after the bout. The series was now tied 2-2, but for many, the first 3 battles would always be the real saga. And just like that, El Magnifico left the ring for the final time. No more comebacks, no more epics, just the silence that follows a storm. Retirement hit Vazquez like an empty ring, quiet, still, unfamiliar. After years spent sculpting his life around strict training regimens and adrenaline-soaked nights under the lights, the transition was jarring. I spent 2 years doing nothing, Vazquez admitted. But in 2012, he returned to the sport, not as a fighter, but as a mentor. He opened the aptly named Magnifico Boxing Gym, where echoes of his past met the ambitions of a new generation. Inside its walls, young fighters shadowboxed under the watchful eye of a man who had bled for greatness. Outside the gym, Vazquez found new footing in the sport that had both made and nearly broken him. As a color commentator, he brought the same clarity and honesty that defined his in-ring performances. At home, he shed the gloves entirely. Life was slower now, sweeter. A devoted husband and father of 3, Vazquez doted on his children, especially his eldest, who traded gloves for shin guards and pursued dreams on the soccer pitch. That suited Israel just fine. The battles were over, the legacy was intact, and in his son's footwork, he could still see echoes of the fighter he once was. The years following Vazquez's farewell from the ring were not filled with arrest, but reckoning. Chief among his trials were the injuries to his eyes, scars from the unforgettable trilogy with Rafael Marquez. The detached retina in his right eye, suffered during their third bout in 2008, was just the beginning of an excruciating medical odyssey. In the years that followed, Vazquez underwent no fewer than 7 surgeries in an attempt to save his eyesight. The procedures were complex and experimental. Laser repairs, silicone oil implants to stabilize the retina, even discussions of a corneal transplant. Some days brought hope, others despair. Eventually, by 2013, Vazquez had lost usable vision in his right eye. "I'm basically blind," he said. Still, the eye remained physically intact for a time, though hardened and sightless. By 2016, after years of deterioration, doctors made the call. It had to be removed. Vazquez took the news as he had taken so many punches, with grit and gallows humor. When a cornea donor was found, an auto-corrected message told him his corneta, Spanish for trumpet, was ready. Vazquez couldn't resist the joke, asking when he could expect his trumpet to arrive. But if losing an eye was cruel, life wasn't finished throwing haymakers. In 2018, Vazquez began to experience troubling symptoms: fatigue, unexplained weight loss, a deterioration he couldn't shake. The diagnosis came swift and sobering: multiple sclerosis. The disease attacked his nervous system and stripped him of the physical vigor that had once defined him. He shed over 40 pounds. The once shredded warrior had become gaunt and ghost-like. True to form, he battled in silence. Periodic treatments helped manage the MS, and whenever friends checked in, Israel offered the same refrain: "Don't worry, I'll be okay." But fate wasn't done. In mid-2024, pain in his legs and hips led to another round of tests. Doctors suspected an infection, maybe tuberculosis. What they found instead was devastating: stage 4 sarcoma. A rare and aggressive cancer had spread through his connective tissues. One tumor nestled in his lung. A larger, more sinister mass grew near his pelvis. Surgery was not an option. Removing the tumor would mean amputating a leg, with no guarantee of survival. Doctors gave Israel 6 months, maybe less. By November of 2024, Vazquez had become bedridden. His weight fell to 100 pounds. He needed constant oxygen. Yet he never complained, never asked, "Why me?" His only concern was for his family. Not his pain, but their future. In those final days, one last grace was granted. Vazquez's parents, still in Mexico and without U.S. visas, had been unable to visit during his illness. Upon learning that time was short, WBC President Mauricio Suleiman worked diplomatic channels to secure emergency humanitarian visas. The reunion came just in time. His parents flew to Los Angeles, arriving at his bedside to spend a final week with their son. On December 3, 2024, Israel Vazquez died in his father's arms. He was 46. The man known as El Magnifico had fought until the very end. That morning in December, his father held him like a boy again. No belt, no crowd, no spotlight, just blood, bone, and love.